Hey everyone, welcome to the another day again. So today we are going to discuss about Python functions, and it will be a complete master class on Python functions. We will be starting from zero till the hero. We will be discussing everything about Python functions. And so I'm Tanmay. I will be the instructor in this whole course. Okay. So today we are going to discuss multiple things about functions. First of all, what is a function, defining and calling functions, parameter arguments, what do they mean. We will understand the differences between them, the return statement, how does it work, default parameters, keyword and positional argument, star args, star kw args, scope, nested functions, lambda functions, higher order functions, decorators, type hints, annotations, docstring, and some practical exercises. So before starting with anything, let me simply first write what is a function. Okay, what is a function? Okay, just quickly do the thinking. Yeah, I'll add this emoji which will make more sense. So what is a function? So a function is a reusable block of code that performs a specific task. Okay, so a function is nothing but a function is a reusable block of code that performs a function is a reusable block of code that performs a specific task. Okay, so you can think it like a recipe maybe. Okay, you can think it like a recipe maybe. You can define it like you can define your recipe once, right? You can define your recipe once and then use it everywhere, right? That's how you do, right? Whenever you discover any recipe, then you just define it once, right, and you use it everywhere. That is kind of a philosophy of functions. Okay, and if I really go deep dive that why to use functions, if I really show you that too, so if I really write it here, why to use functions. Okay, so why to use functions? So the first one will be reusability. Okay, reusability. Okay, reusability is the first part. What does it mean, reusability? So it means write once, use many times. That simply means reusability. Okay, and I simply bold it. Okay, so reusability means write once, use many times. Then another part is called organization. Okay, organization. What does that mean? Break complex problems into smaller pieces. Break complex problem into smaller pieces. Okay, I again make it bold. So reusability means write once, use many times. Organization means break complex problem into smaller pieces. Okay, then next part, that is readability. Readability. Okay, so readability means clean, understandable code. Readability means clean, understandable code. In the last but not the least, debugging. So easier to find and fix bugs or errors in code. Okay, so I think easier spelling is wrong. Yeah, so I'll simply again bold it and execute. So this is simple. What is functions? Reusability, organization, readability, and debugging. And what I quickly do, I simply add this here. I'll paste it multiple places just so that it looks good. Okay, so this is very simple. Why to use function, I mean why use function. Instead of that, let's make why use function. So why use function, these are the reasons why we use function. Okay, so now what we discuss, now we discuss about the actual implementation part. Okay, so defining and calling functions. Now we discuss the main practical part, that is defining and calling functions. Okay, so if I just show you the syntax of defining one function. Okay, if I show you the syntax, so the syntax is def. Okay, def means definition, then the function name. You can give any kind of function name. Okay, so I'm just writing the syntax right now. Okay, I will not execute this code. Okay, so function name. Okay, then some code block, some code you will write inside your function, then you will, I'm just doing pass. Okay, so this is the default thing that we do. I just simply comment it out because I'm not going to use it, but this is the actual syntax. Okay, so first we write define, then the function name. Function name can be anything, then two brackets like this, then colon, then write your code block. And right now I'm writing pass. Pass means do nothing. Okay, this is the actual syntax. Okay, and now what I do is simply write some example 1. Let me just write it properly. Example 1, simplest function ever. I will start with a very simple function. So the function, like to write a function, you need to write def. Def means define. Now I need to give the function name, right? So I am giving the function name. Let's say hello. This is the name of my function. Say hello. Same syntax, def, then the function name, then the two brackets. Like I have given two brackets here. Okay. After that, what I am doing, giving a colon here. Then I am simply doing print hello world. Okay, this is simply I am doing something inside it. What I am doing, I am simply printing hello world. So I am done with my function, right? I am done with my function. Now I need to call this function, right? Now to call this function, what you need to do is you need to simply copy it and just paste it here. Same calling. Now to call, you just have to call the name, say hello, and the brackets. If you write it like this, that means you are calling that function. And whenever you call this, right, it will execute all the lines available inside this function. So in my case, say hello functions has only one line, that is hello world, and it will do that only. Okay, see, I am getting printed hello world. Okay, now another example. We will do multiple examples so that you guys get that understanding. Okay, so example 2. So what we do in example 2, function that does multiple things. Okay, I will show you one more example. Function that does multiple things. So again I am writing def, then I am writing one function called introduce Python. Okay, again def introduce Python. Then what I am doing, then after introducing Python, what I am doing, I am simply I'm going to simply print something, because so far we have printed only, but here we have printed only one line, and this function we print multiple lines. So I'm writing print equal to, okay, multiplied by 40. So this equal to will repeat 40 times. This equal to will repeat 40 times. Then I'll print, maybe I'll print welcome to Python programming. Okay, then I'm printing again and I'm writing maybe let's say Python is fun and powerful. Okay, at the end I'm simply printing it again. So here what are we doing? We are simply doing multiple lines inside our functions. So now I have defined my function. Now to call this function, I need to call it like this: introduce function, then the brackets, and then execute the code. See, it's printing 40 times equal to, then printing welcome to Python programming, then Python is fun and powerful, then again 40 times equal to. So this is what this example 2 is doing. Okay, right? Okay. Or another last example. Okay, example 3, calling a function multiple times. Calling a function multiple times. Okay, so I'll now show you how you can call a function multiple times. Now for that, let's say I'm defining one new function called draw lines. Okay, draw lines, I'm calling a function, and I'm doing simply printing this dash, maybe this underscore, or maybe dash 2 times dash. I'm repeating 30 times. So this function will draw this dash 30 times, right? And now what I do is simply call this function multiple times. See, first I will call draw lines. Okay, then I will print something. Again, the printing is not necessary. If I really don't print, if I execute, see, it's printing the 30 times, right? No problem. Now what I'm doing, I'm writing here print, let's say section 1 introduction. Okay, just for testing I'm showing you up. Okay, then again draw lines, I'm calling draw lines. Okay, then I'm printing maybe let's say section 2 contents. Okay, then again I'm calling draw lines. Okay, again I'm calling draw lines. See, so first it has called draw lines here, so I got draw lines here. Then I printed section 1 introduction. It is printing section 1 introduction here. Then I'm again doing draw lines, so again it's drawing the line here. Then what I'm doing, I'm calling section 2 contents. It has printed contents. Then draw lines again, that means this line again. Okay, so this is how you can call one function multiple times. As many number of times as you want, you can call them. Actually no issues if you really do that, no issues on that part. Okay, great. So you are done with this part. So now what do we discuss? Now we discuss about parameters and arguments. We discuss about parameters and arguments. Okay, and let me explain what does it mean of parameters. Okay, again we see the practical anyways, but let me try to explain what does it mean of parameters. Variable in the function definition. Yeah, you can say it like placeholder. Okay, and arguments equal to actual value passed when calling the function. See, this is the definition of parameter and arguments. Variable in the function definition, that is called parameters. Actual value passed when calling the function called arguments. Let me show you that with example. Okay, again some new example we'll discuss. Example 1, single parameter example. I'll show you single parameter example. Okay, single parameter example. Okay, so again I'm doing def and I'm creating a new function called greet. Okay, now I need to pass a parameter inside these brackets. So far what we did not pass anything inside the brackets, right? So we were not passing any parameters, but now what are we doing? We are passing parameters. Okay, single parameter, great. So this is single parameter, right? So now what I need to do, I have to give the parameter. So read the definition again. Variable in the function definition. So this is the function that I am defining right now, and here I need to pass my parameter. And let us say I am passing the parameter called name. Again, you can pass anything here that you want. You can pass ABC also, but if you pass ABC, right, no one will understand what this parameter means. You can give ABC, that is true, you can give anything else, but whenever we write code, we write in a such a way so that any other developer understands our code. Like I have given a function called greet. I can type it ABC also, no issues. But why I am writing greet? So that by reading out, people can understand, okay, what this function can do, right? Because tomorrow if new developer is coming, they should be able to understand your code, right? That is why you need to always maintain such way. So what I want an input called name parameter, single parameter. Okay, and what I want to do with that? Nothing, simply just print. I'll print using f string like hello comma name. Now you guys should know f string. I think I don't have to teach you that. Nice to meet you. Okay, this is the function name. Greet, name, hello, name, nice to meet you. This is the name of the function. Okay, what I simply do, I am done with my function definition. I simply call it greet. Now passing my name Tanmay. Okay, then I am calling it multiple times just for your example. Let's say Raju. Okay, let's say Aniket. Okay, I just sorry. Okay, and if I execute the code, see, hello Tanmay, nice to meet you. Hello Raju, nice to meet you. Hello Aniket, nice to meet you. So it's simply printing whatever I have written. So here, if I really type it out, Tanmay is the argument for this function call. Likewise, same thing for this. Raju is the argument for this function call. Likewise, Aniket is the argument for this function call. So this is thing called parameter, which we define while defining the function, and actual value passed when calling the function. So we are passing Tanmay as a name, passing Raju as a name, passing Aniket as a name. So this is called as argument. Okay, I hope this part is clear. Great. Now let's discuss about another example. Example 2, multiple parameters. Okay, we discuss about multiple parameters. Now for multiple parameters, what you need to do, and defining a new function called describe pet. Okay, the function name is describe pet. So what this function does, so now in this describe pet, I pass multiple parameters, and in this example I pass two parameters. One parameter name is animal and the parameter name is name. Okay, and what I will simply do, I simply print again f string. I have a animal, okay, named name. Simple, I have animal name. Okay, I am just simply printing this using f string. Now what I will do, I simply do describe pet, and inside the describe pet I call animal. What is animal? So animal name is say dog. Okay, and maybe name can be Bhalu. Again, I am giving some random names, please don't mind. Okay, so dog is the animal and Bhalu is the name. If we execute this code, see, I have a dog named Valu. Okay, again example 2, multiple parameters. Again example 3. Now some meaningful example. Example 3, function as a calculator. Function as a calculator. Okay, function as a calculator. So define add. Okay, add is the function, and by reading the name you can easily understand what it will do. It will simply add two values. Now to add two values, I need to pass two parameters, a comma b, right? Then what I need to do, I need to simply print using f string a plus b equal to a plus b. Okay, a simple full f string game. Here I am passing a, here I am passing b, I am doing a plus b. Simple mathematical operation we do in Python that I discussed already in my previous days. Okay, I think in my first day only I discussed that. So I have defined the function. I simply call add 10 comma 20. So I'll pass it and I'll get the value 30. 10 plus 20 equals to 30. It's simply printing this. Okay, alright. Now let's discuss about last example. Example 4, that is building a profile. So what I do here, I'll define a function called build profile. Okay, build profile, and I hope you guys can recall this 10 and 20 are the arguments, and this a and b are called as parameters. Okay, so now build profile is my function name, and this function will take three parameters: name, comma, age, comma, maybe city. Okay, again sorry for this, yeah, city. Now what I do is simply print, maybe print f string. Okay, so I have printed already for you guys this part. Okay, so you can see I am simply multiplying this dash 30 times, and I am just creating a line like this here. Okay, then I am simply printing name with 21 kind of indentation, you can say, for age, 21 indentation for city. Okay, and then it will print this dash. And now if I just simply call build profile, and if I just call this function and pass my arguments, name let's say Tanmay, okay, age let's say 24, and city let's say Kolkata. Okay, if I pass like this, if I implement it, see, so I'm getting a profile building like this, right? So this is the example function that will do. Okay, now let us discuss about something very important topic, that is the return function, or sorry, not the function, the return statement. And what this thing does, so the return statement sends a value back to the caller. Okay, simple. Return statement sends a value back to the just simply bold it, maybe with 2 star I can bold it, because this statement is very important. So sends a value back to the caller. Okay, so without return, a function returns none by default. Okay, none by default, yeah. So a return statement sends a value back to the caller. Without return, a function returns none by default. Okay, so I'll just show you with some examples so that you can get it. Example 1. Okay, return versus print. Let's discuss about it. Okay, so I'm defining one function called add print. Simple. It takes 2 arguments, a comma b. Then simply what I'm doing, simply doing print a plus b. Okay, no problem. And this is just prints. Okay, we can't reuse the result. Okay, so this just prints, we can't reuse the result. Okay, you need to keep this thing in mind. This just prints, we can't reuse the result. So I will show you. Okay, so let us say I'm calling add print, and I'm passing 10,20. 10,20, execute the code. I got 30, and now let us say I need to store this 30 in a variable. Then you will say, sir, just do one thing, no? Result equal to 30. It will work, right? And let me execute. See, still showing 30 here, and if I try to print the result, I get none. Why none? Because I have printed, but I haven't returned. I haven't given in your hand. Like, let us say that I just told you that I have 2 chocolates. I'm showing it. See, I have 2 chocolates, but showing you chocolates and giving you chocolates, they are 2 different things, correct? I can show you, see, these are 2 chocolates I have, but you are not able to eat it, right? Because I haven't given to you. So that means, what do you have in your hand? Nothing, empty, none. But in my hand I have 2 chocolates. I am showing you I have chocolates, but you don't have it, right? Same thing is happening here. When we do print, it simply shows up like it's showing 30 here. It is not storing anything, it is not returning anything, right? Now to fix that, what I need to do, I'll do the same thing, define maybe add return. Now some new function name I'm giving, same thing, a comma b will be taken up. Then instead of print a plus b, I do simply return a plus b. Okay, and now if I call this add return here, see, when I call the add return now, I did not get anything in the output. Why? Because the output that it is supposed to give, it has sent this output to this variable called result. And if I print result now, can you see you are getting 30? Okay, so I just simply comment a bit here, this returns. Okay, Why I am commenting so detailed, guys? Because if I comment, it will be easier for you to prepare a note later on. So we can reuse the result. Okay. I hope this part is also clear now. What I just simply printed here. Print result here. I guess this should do the job. Yeah. Okay. Now let us discuss another example. Example 2, using returned values in calculations. Okay, this is a return value in calculations. So I'm defining a function called square. Okay, it will do the square, and again to square some number I need a number. So let us say my function parameter name is n. Okay, and I'm returning n to the power 2. I hope you guys can recall this sign. It means to the power. So I'm returning n to the power 2. Now I am defining another function cube. It also takes number as an input, and I am returning n to the power 3. Fine. So now what I am doing, I am defining one variable x equal to 5, and I am simply calling maybe square, then maybe 3, and no, so not 3, x, because x is here. Then again copy it, paste it, print, call cube, execute the code. See, I got 25, I got 125. Okay, now add then, if you want you can do like this also. Square x plus cube, maybe cube x. Okay, I just call it like this. What am I simply calculating the square plus calculating the cube. So I am adding them. So I am getting 150. Right. Okay. I hope this part is also clear. Now before jumping to something else, what I do is simply print something like this. So I am beautifying the part. Okay, I am saying x equal to 5, then I am using f string to beautify the output. I am doing x square. Okay, so it will give the square. It's calling the square function here. Then x cube is calling the cube function here, right? Then x square plus x cube. So square x plus cube x, right? It will give us the answer like this. I mean just to beautify the answer, right? Great. So now we discuss about another example. Example 3. Okay, returning multiple values as a tuple. Let us say this is my main goal. What I want to return multiple values. Let us say, okay, returning multiple values as a tuple. If I want to do that, just let me show you that. I am just defining one function called min underscore max. The function name is min underscore max. It takes numbers as input. So min max is the function name. It takes numbers as an input. Again, you can call numbers as a parameter here. Okay, then what I am returning? I am returning return minimum of the numbers, comma maximum of the numbers. Okay, now this is a bit different example. So what I am doing, so far we were returning only one output, n square, n cube, right? But now what I am doing, I am returning multiple outputs in one shot. So when you return multiple values together, right, you always get it as tuple. So you need to return multiple values. So give a comma and give that value. So min is Python's inbuilt thing. It will return the minimum numbers and it will return the maximum numbers. Let me send the input. Like I am calling min max. Then inside the numbers I am passing some list. Let's say 10, 20, 12, 2, 100, 34, 90, minus 100. See, I got the answer as tuple now. Where minus x is the minimum numbers, this is the one, comma 100, this is the maximum number, this is the one, right? Okay, now I will show you another example. Example 4, early return got close. What is this thing all about? So I write a function called divide. Okay, it takes two parameters, a comma b, and I just simply return a divided by b, right? So now if I just call it normally and I pass 10 comma 5, So 10 will go as A and 5 will go as B. So I'll get the answer 2.0, which is fine. But what if I pass 0 here and execute the code? I'll get an error called zero division error, right? Because we cannot divide any number with 0, right? So now this is the actual purpose of this early return or guard clause function. What I want to keep one if condition. If b equal to 0, then simply return error cannot divide by 0. Now instead of throwing an error in Python, I simply writing a safe printed statement. So by any chance, if any user is sending 0 as a b argument, it will get a message like error cannot divide by 0. Because if you see, we are getting unnecessary error, and as a developer you may understand what this error is telling, but maybe not for the user may not understand what this thing is telling, right? So that is, it is the safe side of doing that. So I just wanted to show you using if condition inside a function. You can write anything, you can write any logic inside the function. Okay, this is one of the examples. Later on we do more examples about functions. Okay, so you can see this is what we are dividing here. Okay, so this is the example, and if I execute the code now, and now if I execute the code, see, now I am not getting any error, I am simply getting error cannot divide by 0. Simple. And I just simply keep it here instead of here. Okay, so I can just execute this one. Okay, so I hope you have understood everything about functions so far. Okay, so now we discuss about intermediate level of functions. So we were in the basics of Python functions, and now we'll be discussing about intermediate level of functions. Okay, so the first topic that we discuss, that is related to default parameters. Okay, default parameters. So what is this parameters all about? So you can assign default values to parameters. And I believe you know what does it mean a parameter, right? So if the caller does not provide a value, then the default value will be used. Okay, so this is the default parameter example or the definition. So you can assign default values to parameters. If the caller does not provide a value, then the default value will be used. So you now know what does it mean a parameter, you now know what does it mean an argument. So now I will show you example of default parameter. So example 1, okay, simple default. Okay, I will show a simple default example. So writing a function called greet. Now greet will take 2 parameters. Okay, one this name, and another one is, let's say, greeting message. Okay, greeting message, let's say. Now what is the greeting message? The greeting message is, let's say, namaste, like how we speak in India, right? Namaste. If I mention it like this, okay, so define greet, name, greeting message, namaste. Okay, after that what I'm doing is simply printing that type string, maybe greeting message comma name. Now here what I have done, I have simply said greeting message equal to namaste. So this is the parameter, and there I am passing the value namaste, right? I just simply call this function. Now I am calling greet, right? It takes it has 2 parameters, so I have to pass 2 arguments, right? So the first argument, let's say Tanmay, and the greeting message, let's say hello. If you execute the code, you will see I will be getting hello Tanmay. Why? Because Tanmay went as name, hello went as greeting message, and when I am printing using f string, I am getting hello Tanmay. Great. But now where did we use this default value? So if I now call it again, okay, just call it again below. Now I will only pass the first parameter, I mean the first argument here. Now only passing Tanmay. So now Tanmay will go as name in this case, and since I have not passed anything in the second parameter, second argument, right? So it will not find anything for this parameter, and it will take this default value called Namaste. And if I execute this code, you see Namaste Tanmay. Now this is the one of the simplest example of default parameters. So by any chance, if you see, if the caller does not provide a value, so here I have not provided any value. Since I have not provided any value, it took this default value, and default value will be used. So it has used the default value called Namaste in my case. I hope this part is clear, right? I will show you some other examples so that you get it properly. Example 2, power function with default exponent. With default exponent. Define power is the function name. So it will take two parameters. One is base, other one is exponent. Now here I am passing exponent, default value is 2. So if by any chance while calling the function I don't pass the exponent value, it will take the default value by default. Okay, great. So it has simply to return base to the power exponent. That's how it should be correct. Now I call the power, it's a 10, 3. So 10 went as base, 3 went as exponent. So 10 to the power 3 becomes 1000. And now what if I call it again power and I pass only 5 here and nothing. So now 5 will go as base here, but exponent I have not provided. So by default it will take the exponent value as 2. So it will determine 25. Why 25? Because it will determine 25. Why 25? Because this exponent default value became 2. That is why. Okay, great. Alright, some other example. Okay, example 3, building a coffee order. Okay, let us say. Okay, so the function name is order coffee. Okay, and this function takes multiple parameters, and each parameter will have default value. So see, it is not that the case that you can only pass one default value for one of the parameters. It is not the case. If you want for all the parameters, you can pass the default value. I will show you that example here. So I have defined my order coffee function, and now what I do, I will simply define size, which is one of my parameter, and default value is medium. Okay, then maybe drink, what kind of coffee it is, latte. Okay, then milk, it will be regular milk by default. Then extra short goes to false. Again, it is also a default value. Okay, it is also default value. So I want to print something like sort equal to, I will do a simple if and else. So if extra short, so if extra short, but in my case, but the default value is false. If I pass true, then it will be true, but default value is false. So if extra short, so if this condition is becoming true, right, then it will print like this, plus extra short. Okay, and if this is not true, if else it will print nothing. Okay, so this is a one liner if else. So I am saying if extra short, so if extra short is false by default, if while calling it, if I pass anything like true, then it will work, or else it will not work. So if extra short, if this is true, it will print this something called plus extra short, and else it will print nothing. Okay, and at the end I am simply printing f string, maybe order. I am just now beautifying the order. Let's say size. Okay, then maybe drink, then short, with this milk. Okay, so now this is I'm simply doing f string printing. Now what I do, I simply call it order coffee, and I will not pass any argument for now, because for every parameter I have a default value, right? So if I do not pass anything, still this code should work, because I have default value for all the parameters. And if I execute the code, you will see it took medium latte with regular milk. So size was medium by default, so it took order medium, then drink latte. It did not anything like nothing came for short. Why? Because this condition became false. So this condition did not pass, since our default value was extra short. So when else came, it has chosen this one. It has chosen this nothing. That is so nothing. Okay. So that is why it did not provide anything with milk. So what was the default value for milk? We had regular, so it became with regular milk. Okay. Now what if I pass order coffee? Okay, and I pass large, only large, let's say. Now what was the first parameter? Size. So, and that would be the first argument here, large. So size value will be by default medium, but since I have provided large as my value, so it will automatically take the size as large. If I execute the code now, see, you will get now order large latte with regular milk. Again, if I call order coffee, okay, if I say small comma cappuccino, okay, okay, and then oat. So here small became size, cappuccino became drink, oat became milk. Okay, and if I execute the code, see, I got now small cappuccino with oat milk. Okay, and for the last one, maybe let's do the last thing, order coffee, maybe large, sorry, large spelling is wrong, large, then maybe espresso. Okay, espresso, then extra short equals to true. Sorry, true, this true. Now what I am doing here, I am simply calling that parameter name now in the argument. You can do that too. See, by default, if you do not provide anything like extra short, milk, size, it will automatically take it as the positions. Like if you see, when I am calling order coffee, and when I only provided large, it took this one, right, large latte with regular milk. So large treated as size here. It is because of the position, because size came at first and I have provided only single time large. That means it will take this as size. For the next example, I have provided small at first, so small became size. Then I have provided cappuccino in the second option. Second option was drink, so it has taken it accordingly. Then oat was there, which came as a third, as a milk, right? That's why I got small cappuccino with oat milk. Now in this case I am saying large, so size is large. Okay, then I am saying espresso, drink is espresso. Now I'm not passing, I'm saying extra short equals to true. Okay, so that is why this milk value will be automatically taken as regular, because this is the default value. And what I'm saying, I'm simply calling the parameter name in the argument, extra short equal to true. You can do this too if you want to. You can call it. So now position does not matter. Since I'm calling extra short, which is the parameter in the argument, and then I'm saying it is true, then I'm saying you have to keep extra short as true. Now this thing is not happening based on the position. Since I'm calling it, right, so now it will not happen based on the position. And if I execute the code, so you will get large espresso plus extra short with regular milk. Okay, so I hope I was able to explain these things to you. Okay, some other example I will show you, some other beautiful examples, maybe example 4. Okay, so what is the example? So mutable default argument. Okay, mutable default argument. What is this mutable default argument? I hope you now know about mutability, right? I hope you now know about mutability. I have discussed this thing a lot many times in our list videos. So if you have not watched that video, please watch that video. Okay, so okay, great. So if I if I create a function, let's say add item bad. So this is my function, add item bad. So this function does add item which are bad. Okay, so first of all, item, one parameter, and another parameter called items, and I'm passing by default as empty list, because the item default value is empty list. And what if I try to simply do items dot append item, and then I return the items. So since items is a list, I can apply append on top of it, and I can add the single item called item, right? And let us call it first. Add item bad, then apple. So I should get the output, right? I should get the output that this list should contain apple, right? If I execute the code, okay, I got apple as an output, no problem, right? Now if I call maybe add item bad banana, see I am getting now apple and banana, okay, I am getting apple and banana. So you got apple and banana, and now what does this line mean called mutable default argument? It means that if I provide something like some default value, right, they are mutable in my case. So like right, list is mutable, correct? We can add and change elements now. Now what is happening? This list that I have defined as an empty list, right? So whenever I call this add item everywhere, right, it will keep on adding these values automatically. Like I called apple, then I called banana. So if I really call something else now, I'm calling here, let's say maybe guava, okay, see I'm getting an apple, guava, banana, guava, which should not happen, because if I call this function in multiple places for some purpose, it is not forgetting the previous values. If you see, it is not forgetting the previous values. So this list value, this list default value, shared across all the calls of this function. This is the behavior of mutable default argument. So since this is a list which is mutable, and that is what I have provided as a default argument, and this list item, like the updated list item, like whenever I am calling this function, right, it is executing this append line. So this updated list will always be shared across all the calls. So wherever I call now something else, now that thing will be added into this, which should not happen, right? This should work independently. If I call this add item bad, it should only add the item that I provide here in this function. And now if I call it tomorrow somewhere else, it should not add it, right? Like if I am calling apple, the apple only should be there. Then if I call banana, then banana only should be there. Apple should not come up, because I am calling this function individually in a different places. So you should not share this list context across all the calls, which is not good, which should not happen. Now to ignore that, we have a workaround. What is the workaround? Let me discuss. Workaround of example 4. Okay. Now I will just simply define add, and I give a new name, item good. Okay, item good, add item good. You will take item, then items. Now instead of providing a default value as empty list, I provide none. Okay, I provide none. Then I simply check if items is none, which is true, then items equal to one empty list. Then I simply do items dot append item, and then what I do, I simply return the items. Okay, now see, now this is not at all one mutable default argument now. So now this thing will not be sharing its state with others. Okay, so like if you see, now if I call this function add item good, and I call, let's say, banana, now okay, I will get banana, great. If I call it like this, apple, I am getting apple. See, now they are independent. Now it is not sharing its context everywhere with all its calls. Now all these calls are different now. It is not sharing with anything with each other, right? So this is the best way of doing it. If if you have a logic like this, whenever you are writing logic like this, please don't write logic like this. Use this kind of logic. Use a default value as none, then write your own logic to complete your process. Okay, so this is the one of the examples that I wanted to show you. Okay, great. I hope this part is clear. So now we discuss about another thing called keyword and positional arguments. Okay, so keyword and positional argument. What are these things? So let me explain with some example, direct example. Example 1. Okay, so positional versus keyword, right? Great. And I got a function called describe. Okay, describe is the function. It takes 3 parameters: name, age, city, and then I am simply printing f string. Name is age years old and lives in city. Okay, lives in city. So this is the thing that I am defined here. And what do I simply call it? Okay, describe, I simply calling it. So name, let's say Tanmay, age, let's say 24, city, let's say Bangalore. I just call it like this. I call it. I got Tanmay is 24 years old and lives in Bangalore. Okay, so now this is called positional argument. This is called positional argument. Why? Because here position matters. First I provided Tanmay, it will be taken as a name. Then I provided 24, it will be taken as age. Then I provided Bangalore, it will be taken as city. But what about keyword argument? If I show you the keyword argument, describe, I am calling describe. Now I am saying name equal to Tanmay. I am saying age equal to 23. I am saying city equal to Kolkata. If you execute the code now, see, now I got Tanmay is 23 years old and lives in Kolkata. Now they have given the same output, but this is the example of the keyword argument and this is the example of the position argument. So in the keyword argument, position does not matter. I am using the keyword of the parameters and then passing the names. Name equals to Tanmay, age equals to 23, city equals to Kolkata. Now if I want, I can call like this also. Since in keyword argument position does not matter, so I can do like this. I am saying age equals to 22, name equals to, let's say, Raja, and let's say city equals to maybe NY. Okay, if you execute the code, see what I got. Raja is 22 years old and lives in NY. So here, can you see position does not matter? Because since I am using keyword here in the argument section, so now position does not matter. But when you want that position should matter, you have to use position argument like this. I hope this position argument, keyword argument concept is already clear to you, right? So I will show another example. Example 2. Keyword only arguments. Okay, keyword only arguments. What will happen here? Let us say I'm writing a function called define create user. Okay, and this function will take name, then email, then role equal to viewer, so default value I am providing, and that's it. And then what I do, I simply print one very simple thing like user name, maybe like this, then email, okay, then this, then role, okay. And this is a very simple function, you guys know about it. I simply call create user, and then I simply pass like I just call position argument here. I just pass Tanmay, okay. Then I just give email like anything in a random email ID. Yes, then role editor, let's say. So I'm getting Tanmay and these things. Now what is this thing called keyword only arguments? What if we want to force people, they have to use the keyword only arguments, but here we are doing through position, right? Here we are not doing through keyword, right? Now to do this, what I need to do, you need to pass something called star then comma. Now what will happen for this thing? I have provided star here, right? Then if I execute the code, I'll get an error called type error. Takes one position argument but 3 were given. Why it is saying takes one position argument but 3 were given? Because when I pass star in the parameter, and if there are any other parameters after this star, they will be treated as keyword, and anything before the star will be treated as position. That is why Tanmay is positional argument. That's it is saying takes one position but 3 given. Why 3 given? Because I have provided 3 of them as position argument, but in our case one of them supports position argument and rest of them supports keyword argument. Now I need to do email equal to chuck@gmail.com and role equal to editor. Now if I execute the code, now you will see code will work. So now if you want to force your user to pass keyword arguments, you have to star. So wherever you give star, after that whatever parameters will be there, they will be treated as keyword. You have to use keyword based argument to achieve them. Okay. But if there is something called keyword only arguments, there should be something called position only arguments, right? So for position only arguments also we have here. I'll discuss that. Example 3, positional only arguments. What happens here? I define a function called calculate tax, then amount comma rate. Okay, they are simply written amount multiplied by rate. Simple thing. I just called calculate tax 100 comma 2, I'll get 200 rupees as my tax. Now if I want, I can use keyword argument here, amount equal to 100 and maybe rate equal to 2. If I execute the code, I got 200. Nothing much happened, right? But what if I pass something called comma then slash? Okay, now what will happen? Let me just comment out this and execute the code. Code is working for this one. If I now draw this one, what I got an error here for this one, calculate tax got some position ODK arguments passed as keyword arguments, amount and rate. So whatever are provided before this backslash will be treated as positional argument, and that is why when I have called them through keyword arguments, I got an error, and this error is pretty straightforward. Calculate tax some position got some position only arguments passed as keyword arguments, amount and rate. Okay, I hope this part is also clear, everyone. Now we talk about something some new things that is related to maybe like star ARGS and star AWARGS. We discuss about them. What are these things? So when you do not know how many arguments will be passed, whenever you don't know, it should be don't know. So whenever you do not know how many arguments will be passed, on such cases using star ARGS or KWARGS makes more sense. Okay, so let us understand that here. Okay, so for that I am preparing one example 1. So I'll be showing up example star ARGS. Star ARGS should be together. Star ARGS variable number of positional arguments. Okay, so let us see, I am doing a function called add all, define add all, and I am passing star numbers. Now why I have provided star numbers? Because I want to add all, I mean whatever numbers will be provided by the user when I call this function. On that type, I don't know how many numbers user will pass. User may pass 2 numbers, user may pass 3 numbers, user may pass 5 numbers. I don't know how many numbers user will actually pass, and that is why I am using star numbers. So now star numbers is telling it can take unlimited numbers of input. It can take variable number of position arguments. Okay, so I will simply do print. I'll simply print f string just to show you how it will come. Received numbers and type numbers dot underscore name underscore. Okay, this is what I am simply doing. So I am simply calling this function add all, and I have already told it can take unlimited numbers of inputs. So if I pass 10, 100, and if I call it, see what I am getting. First of all, since I am calling star numbers, so numbers is the same thing. Numbers is the parameter here. I am passing this as an argument here. But since I provided star, so this is now it got some superpower. Now it can take unlimited inputs. So I have provided 10, 100, right? So can you see when it got the input, it has converted these numbers into tuple now. 10 and 10, 100. If I pass single 100, what will happen? Let's see. If I pass single 100, still it is taking it as tuple. Still this is taking it as tuple. Okay, so that wherever we pass inside add all will be taken as tuple. Now since know that how tuple works, now you can write your own logic to do your thing, right? Since you know how tuple works, since you know how to write the Python code using tuple, so now you can do whatever you want to do using this thing now, right? So now what I can do, simple, I can simply return sum comma numbers. So sum is Python's inbuilt function. If I call sum, it will add all the numbers. Since this numbers is nothing but a tuple, it can add all the numbers. See, I got 10, final answer. Now if I pass 10, 100, 12, 10, minus 10, everything, see, I got 122. So no more issues on in terms of number of inputs. I can pass as many as I want. Say I got 289. Okay, and now another example. Example 2, that is star kwargs variable number of keyword arguments. Same thing, unlimited logic, but now this is for keyword arguments. Now same, I would say it's same. Okay, I just change the name. Let's say print info, changing the name. Now instead of star numbers, it was star numbers, or maybe star details, let's say. Okay, so what will happen here? Now you can pass as many keyword arguments as you want. No limits on keywords argument here. Here no limits on position argument. Here no limits on keyword argument. Simple. So I'll just simply print these details. Nothing much. I simply print these details, and for now we will not return anything. Let me call print info. See, I will pass keyword. Let's say name equal to Tanmay. I will pass it like this. Okay, then maybe age equals to 90, and maybe grade equals to A. See, what is the input type I am getting when I am passing keyword argument like this? So this details is taking all this input as Python dictionary. So if I modify by another argument, let's say marks equals to 900. Let's say, see, marks are there. So no limit on keyword arguments. As many numbers of keyword argument you can pass, and this all are treated as dictionaries. So now since this details nothing but a dictionary, now you can write your own logic whatever you want. like I am writing my own logic for key comma value in details. What is this details? This details is nothing but it's the dictionary. I can call that items. I have discussed in the dictionary session, everyone, right, how to run a loop, so you can check the dictionary video out. Okay, then I'm simply printing key, maybe let me use F string here, I guess that would be better. Key, then with some extra space this, and we'll give a like this, and we'll give like value. Okay, so I want to print name, Tanmay, age 90, grade, marks 100. Now since I know this detail is nothing but nothing but a dictionary, now I can write my own logic whatever I want, like I'm writing this logic. You can write whatever logic you want. There are actually no more limitations on that, right? Now I have shown how you can call a position argument, how you can call keyword argument, unlimited ones, right? Do you know you can use both of them together also? I will show you with another example. Example 3. Combining star ARGS and star KW ARGS. Super function. Okay. Star ARGS comma star KW ARGS. Sorry, ARGS. Another thing, I hope you guys can already seen that I have not used ARGS or KW ARGS in the names. See, ARGS and QRGS are the syntax. Like everyone uses this. You can say it's like convention. So wherever you see someone have written code, right, they have used star ARGS, star KW ARGS. So that everyone understand that. But it is not the case that you have to use ARGS, KW ARGS. No. Like you can see in this case I have used star numbers, in this case I have used star details. You can pass whatever you want, no problem in that. Okay. Now this function is just for example. Okay, this function will not do much, but simply what it will do, it will simply print positional arguments. Okay, positional arguments. Then what it will do, simply do this ARGS. I will simply print it, nothing much I will do. Okay, keyword. Okay, star done. I'll just call the super function. I'll pass, let's say 12,11, then name equals to Tanmay. That's it. See, it has automatically taken this one as position argument, that side came in args, and then this part taken as keyword argument. That's why this part came here. So if you want, you can pass it like this. Okay, so now another example, some meaningful example. Example 4, that is a real world example. Flexible string formatter. Okay, this is a function I'm going to write. Flexible string formatter. Okay, so what I'm doing, function name is, let's say, format message. Okay, then what I do, I'll take the template. I mean, whatever message will be there should be some template of that message. I'll take the template, then I take ARGS, and then I take star KW ARGS. Okay, I'm taking this input here. Okay, then I'm simply saying message equal to template dot format. Okay, then I'm passing ARGS comma star KW ARGS. Okay, then I am returning the message MSG. Okay, MSG. Okay, now what I am doing, I am simply calling format message. Yes, then what I am passing, hello comma this. Okay, then comma world. I got hello world, no issues. And let us say I am calling this function by the way, did you guys understand what happened here? Let me tell you. So this template dot format is working as is like F string that I discussed already in the previous videos. So now I'm saying hello, then hello, then this curly braces, like how you used to do for f string. We used to do hello, then this, right? And if I say, let's say here greet equals to world, okay, and then if I simply do like this, this, if I pass the greet here, what do I get? Hello world. Same logic is happening. If you see hello, then curly braces, this is the placeholder, and this placeholder is replaced by this world. And using format, you can do formatting like this. Now this is also f string called format string. This is also format. There are two ways how you can do formatting. Okay, these are the two ways how you can do formatting. And when I call template.format star args and star kwargs, now this become flexible, right? So I'm saying hello, then the braces here, which is a placeholder, then world. So this world will be replaced with this braces here. That's why I call hello world. Okay. Likewise, if I just show you the same example below, I just delete this cell. I hope you have understood this one. So I delete this cell. If I show, like let's say this type of things, this one, okay, then plus this one equal to this one. Now what I do here, okay, a bus comma 2 comma 3 comma 5. Now guys, there are no limits here actually, because I am using star args, star kwargs, right? So here this thing, all are based on positions. So that is why this all will be taken by the args, just for your information. Okay, now 2 come here, then 3 will come here, okay, then 5 will come here, based on the position. Simple. See, I'll get 2 plus equal to 5. Like if I show you some keyword argument example in this example only, like let's say I am showing up like this, name, okay, comma age, okay, right? Now what I am doing, name equals to Tanmay and comma age equal to 24. See, still working. Isn't it amazing, guys? Now this name taken by the keyword argument here, this age taken by the keyword argument here. So this is how you can use both of them with some real world examples, right? So I'll show you another more example for your understanding. Example, what number example? Example 5. Okay. Unpacking with star and star. Okay. Let us something define multiply. So I'm writing a function called multiply. It will take a, b, c, 3 numbers it will take as an input, and I'll return a multiplied by b multiplied by c. Simple function. Let's test this function also. Multiply 1, 2, 3 will get us 6. No problem. Now I will show you unpack a list or tuple with star. Okay, let's have nums as a list here, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I have a numbers of list here. Then what I'm doing, I'm going to multiply, then star nums. Now what is happening here? So now I'm calling star nums, I'm calling multiply. So this function takes 3 arguments, and when I'm saying star nums, this list also has 3 elements. So when I call star nums, it actually takes this automatically. That means 2 will become A, 3 will become B, 4 will become C. If you execute the code, so you'll get the same answer. 2 multiplied by 3, 6, 6 multiplied by 4, 24. Same logic. Okay. Likewise, if you have something like this, like I will show you now, unpack a dictionary with star. Okay, with star. Let us I have a params thing. It has a dictionary A 1, B 2, C 9, and if I pass multiply, then star params, so you'll get, sorry, spelling wrong, yeah, What is the problem here? Let me check. Got acha, okay. I have to give A, I have to give B, I have to give C, like this. Okay. Yeah. See, I got 18 now. How come I got 18? This was a dictionary, and you know, right? For unlimited keyword organ, what do we use? Double star. When you use past double star, now from dictionary it will take it automatically. It has three parameters, and this dictionary also has 3 keys and 3 values. These values will go for this. These values will go for this. A will be 1, B will be 2, C will be 9. And if I call this, now I am getting the function as an output. So this is the way you can unpack using star and double star. And I know, guys, no one have discussed about it in any YouTube videos. Okay, so I hope you are enjoying the function video so far. And now let's continue. So guys, what I decided for this day, I will keep functions only till this one, because there are a lot of things that I have discussed, right? So you might be feeling overwhelmed after seeing this many things. So what I want, you guys can continue till this point for this day, and in the next day I will upload the rest of the part. I will just explain the rest of the topic that I have for functions, and that will be uploaded tomorrow only. Okay, then you guys can check that video out. Okay, because these topics that I have discussed, you need to practice, and if I give everything, you might feel overwhelmed, because there are a lot to study, a lot to learn about functions. Okay, so you practice only till this much for now, and tomorrow again further videos will come for functions, as well as after completing function, what we do, we will do some function based assignment in the session only. Okay, so that you will get that feeling. Now you know the tools, now you know how to write. Now we write some code so that we get more sense. We write some real code to do some real stuff, right? On that time we'll get more feel about it. So that we do in the tomorrow session, and then day after tomorrow session. Okay, so I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. We'll catch up tomorrow again. Bye bye.